Hello everybody, my name is Shoggy, and today we're going to be talking about the future of this channel, as well as the future of my streaming career, hopefully. And I'd like to go ahead and make it very short, somewhat discreet, as well as making sure that we go ahead and address the situation with how the streams are going to be going until Twitch actually inflicts their TOS properly and respectively to everyone that is going against the TOS. Because until then, after I have fully removed myself from Twitch, we are going to wait until Twitch actually has a ballsack to actually go ahead and take care of the TOS infringement that so many content creators on the platform have been starting to do, and so on and so forth. So we're going to instead find a way to get out of that situation, which is where I'm streaming on Kick and as well as on YouTube. Going to be doing more multi-streaming because it's surprisingly going pretty well, so I'm going to be trying to do that. Hopefully being able to stream on X, but that's not been 100% of a guarantee, but it might be in the future. But I would like to also state the two different types of video series that will be on the YouTube channel for the most part. What we do and what I do are two separate things. Us as a community, we will be doing mostly the streams, as well as being able to have possible future movie nights on the Discord server. I don't know, that's not been 100% guaranteed yet, but that's been on the table of questioning. And on the table of options. We have many different things I want to try and do, and we have many different things that others want to try doing for events on the Discord server, as well as possibly on streams for future stream ideas. Collaborations are on the table, they're just not being grabbed at the moment, but they are there. But besides the point, what I'd like to go ahead and discuss about will be our future for this channel, for the community, for everyone. And I want that to be a positive. Less than a negative, more of a positive. The two main series we're going to be having going through will be, of course, Thoughts with Shoggy, as always. And we're also going to be having videos talking about different weapons, warframes, overviews basically over the game of Warframe itself, of different weapons and items. Pets even maybe at some point, maybe, might not, I don't know. And possibly Warframes specifically. But that's still on the table. It is not a 100% guarantee, but the weapons is a definitive. We will definitely be doing more of the Warframe weapon overviews, as well as showing how to be able to break every single weapon without ribbons, because that's what I do on my live stream, so why not be able to find a way to do it on a video and actually present it? Which is what I'm going to be doing from now on. Will I be having a schedule? No. There will never be a schedule, mainly because of my condition. We're not going to be talking about my condition at all, but basically my condition makes it almost impossible to keep a schedule. I wish it wasn't like it was, but that's besides the point. So, we're going to be talking about, instead, the two video series. First will be, of course, Thoughts with Shoggy, which I'm just going to put this right here and now, might as well, instead of splitting it apart. With the Thoughts with Shoggy, as I stated in the actual first video, it's going to be mostly talking about my thoughts over different topics, over different game series, over just my thoughts on different stuff in general. My thoughts on idealistics, on idealisms, and as well as thoughts on games and their future, as one would normally do. Yet I would like to also state that if you guys hear a lot of stuttering or hear a lot of like, oh well, that's because mostly whenever I make a video, I do not use a script. I go off the rip and I just want to use that only. If people don't like this, I'm sorry. If you don't like it, you have the choice to leave. You do not have to stand. And I thank you for at least supporting as long as you have. But if you are a new viewer and coming in and being able to watch these videos as well as the streams, I do want you to know that I do not pander. I make sure that I don't. I don't like pandering. I have been walking on eggshells almost my entire life, so I'd like to stop that. And this is going to be the main area where we're not going to be having, oh, well, I have to walk on eggshells because of your feelings. I'm sorry, I'm going to speak more facts than feeling. I will have passion about certain things, but I will not be extremely emotional when talking about a specific topic unless it's my passion showing its true colors. Now, that can show in rage, happiness, like anger, frustration, annoyance, so on and so forth. But when it comes to these videos and I talk about these different types of topics, I just want what's better for humanity and as well as for maybe even a game for the developers to actually like flourish in a good light and so on and so forth. And I would like to make sure that they can actually thrive and survive. I'll make sure I don't give much dead air in these videos. I'll do my best to make sure I don't. Will there be possibly in the future? Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, there will be. And I'm sorry if there are. I hope that nobody gets upset about it. And nobody goes like, oh, well, why did he take so long in this certain duration of the video? I want to apologize ahead of time, and I just want you guys to know, again, I only do this once, one long rip, and we just see how it goes from there. I never use a script, and if anybody knew that I use a script, they're going to learn very quickly, I don't actually do that. You can say I use a script, but I don't, and I have people who I sit with that actually do know, I don't like scripts at all. It makes me feel like it's an empty shell. I'm not gonna diss anybody that uses scripts like Traburus for his videos, but that's because he does a lot more extensive time, I would say, and as well as you can easily ramble and forget yourself when it comes to not using a script. So I wanted to make sure that people do understand that when I do the Thoughts with Shoggy for the different videos for that, there is no script. Same thing when it comes to the weapon videos and stuff like that, like when I'm doing weapon overviews for Warframe, or I'm doing videos for Warframes themselves, in Warframe itself. I wanted to make sure that everybody knows that those are not going to be as scripted or scripted at all. One or the other, I don't know fully. Later down the road, we will be having a large, massive video compilation specifically talking about the like my ideas for how to bring endgame to Warframe and so on and so forth from my thesis I've been working on. But until then, I'm just going to be doing what's needed for the survival of this channel and as well as the survival for hopefully the future of Warframe content and content for a lot of other games too. Yes, I have been moving to other MMORPGs, but that's because I'm trying to get out of Warframe constantly and consistently. Because I've been playing it to a point where I'm finding nothing to do. And that's never a good sign. So, which is why I'm going to be talking about a thesis, but that'll be another video on another day. For now, I'd like us to get into the second part of the video. Warframe weapons. One of the many things that lets us be able to keep damage in the game, other than certain Warframe abilities from room nukes or from DPS variants of Warframes in general. Weapons are one of my favorite things to look at, no matter what type of weapon it is. Either it's a secondary, a primary, or a melee, whether it's a shotgun, a cannon, or it's just an AR. I love weapons in general, any type, any way, any shape and form. Whenever I look at a weapon, see how can I break it, how can I make it good without needing to use a Riven all the time, because most people think, oh, well, with every weapon that is not like in the meta, you need to have it to be having a Riven in order to make it supremely good, and I don't believe in that. I've been playing the game for 12 years, and I've been wanting to find a way to make it work, make it operate. And I have found a way to make it good, to be able to have it to where we have weapons, all of them, every single one of them, can be broken in their own way, and be able to deal with Steel Path quite heavily and quite easily. Certain times in those videos, I'll be stating, well, this weapon, it may not be able to have a fast as hell kill time in order to be able to deal with survival that well, but these are the areas where we will be able to deal with the Steel Path units quite well, especially when it comes to like endless game modes like our interception, disruption, so on and so forth like that. I'll be talking about how each weapon can be able to be built in a specific way, the multiple different ways you could build it, because yes, maybe Sabuchi is right somewhat where he states all builds are usually just within 6 different types of builds. Yes and no. It depends on the weapon for the most part, and it depends on how you want to build it, how you want to set it, and so on and so forth, as well as depending on what Warframe abilities you use to be able to boost the weapon's damage or its elemental damage output, so on and so forth. I want to be able to make sure that is at least discussed and talked about. Now, for the final bit of this, I'd like to also state, when it comes to weapons, all weapons are good without Rivens, except for the Stug. Kuva Stug win? I don't know. I really want the Kuva Stug, but until then, I don't know what DE is going to do. We're probably not going to see a Kuva Stug for all we know, but please, DE, give me a Kuva Stug. I just want it. But besides the point, weapons in general are going to be a main focus on the channel, other than, of course, like I stated, the Thoughts with Shoggy as well as the streams. But I'm going to focus on weapons that a lot of people think are not good, or are subpar at best unless you have a Riven, or weapons that are just completely shit, even with Rivens. And I'm going to prove it wrong the entire time. I'm going to do it with every single weapon that I can be able to whip up, and I'm going to make sure I maximize every weapon in every type of scenario in every possible way, which is what I love to do in general. It's what I love and what I enjoy. I've been playing Warframe for 12 years. What do you expect out of me? To always be looking at the meta like most of the Warframe player base has gotten to at this point? No. We are going to be making every weapon good without Rivens, without always following the meta builds, and without always going for one specific direction. As a final note for these videos as well, I will state where each mod is at, where you get each mod, how you get each mod, and so on and so forth for the builds whenever I show them for the video. I want this to be a forefront and to be understood that I want players to know, new players especially, to know where to get these mods. I know a lot of the time when you look at build videos, they don't really tell you where the mods are because they expect you to go look it up or expect you to go do it yourself, or you already have the mods, where I'm going to instead state where you get each mod, how you get each mod, as well as what to do with each mod. As well as when it comes to your future modding and everything like that for weapons, if I haven't made a video on those weapons yet, I will also teach people how each mod set is set, as well as how each mod is placed in a mathematical term for your weapon's final damage output. Because there are some mods that are in Warframe that people think are specifically one way of damage and one additive type of damage, and the other is, well, the other type of damage, where sometimes some people don't even know how multiplicative the damages can really be with the mods. So I want to be able to make sure that when I teach for these builds, if anyone has questions, even in the comments, definitely speak in the comments, because if you have questions, I'm happy to answer any of them in my comments. I'll be checking the comments most of the time. Whenever I update and upload a video, I will go ahead and always check the comments within like the next 10 to 12 days. So And I'll make sure I do my best to read every single comment if there's way too many at a certain point, but I know there probably won't be. But either way, I want to know, and I want you all to know, that no matter what I do when it comes to these future videos with games, with weapon overviews, and even possibly future Warframe overviews and pet overviews, maybe. This is on the maybe. If it's asked enough, I will do it. If it's not, then I'm not going to. But if certain Warframes, like Lavos, has been extremely thrown under the bus and stuff like that, Warframes that were balanced improperly, I will make videos on them. And will I count them as a part of a Warframe overview? Yes. I will count them as an Warframe overview, or a Warframe overview, correction. And I'll make sure that when we do go through these, I'll explain what we can do to fix it, what we can do to help take care of it, and if it needs a rework, then I'll state about it. But if it doesn't need a rework, I'm not going to say it needs a rework. But besides the point, I want to state, as a final note for this entire video, with the changes we're having to the game itself for Warframe, as well as to my channel and everything else, we are going to be seeing a lot of, hopefully, good and decent videos. And I hope that everybody is happy about them. I understand if nobody really likes these videos, and I'm sorry if you don't. But all I'm going to say is this is the change we're going to take. This is the future we're going to go for, and I just hope everybody enjoys their time and enjoys the videos. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next stream, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, be good, you motherfuckers, and make sure you stay safe. Until then, peace to you all.